You know, Cam, I think today let's concentrate on fishing some of these big runs and pools like this. What we're looking for are run-up fish coming out of the major Hebgen Lake. These are big run-up rainbows, and consequently we'll be doing more nymph fishing. You're going to fish traditional gear, and I'm going to fish the really traditional gear, and that's the Tenkara. We'll set up with a Tenkara rod and fish some nymphs through here. Our plan, though, and our strategy is to fish these big pools and hopefully tag into a couple of these big run-up rainbows. You know, Cam, when you approach a pool like this, particularly on a beautiful mountain freestone stream like this, you almost have to like dissect it, you know? Look at the faster water, the seams, the transition zones, the little bit slower currents where the fish are going to hold, particularly run-up fish like we're fishing today. Run-up fish are lake fish, and they're up in a creek like this to spawn, getting ready to spawn, and they're used to calmer water, so they won't be in the fast water. Should we be fishing local fish, resident fish if you will, we'd probably be fishing this faster water. But let's walk out here and kind of fish some of these seams and transition zones we're talking about. I like to, when we approach water like this, I like to really stand for just a few seconds like we did and basically dissect the pool and form a strategy how we're going to do it. We're going to fish the closer water first, and then we're going to work out and pick the other water as we go. We're going to start with the fast water and then fish the seam and the transition zone and finally end up in the soft water towards the other side. When fishing dry flies, that's where you're going to see the fish rise, is in that soft water, in the transition zone and the soft water beyond, because that way they don't have to expend as much energy taking dries. Again, just mending, trying to get that drag-free float. Drag is your biggest enemy when fishing dry flies and nymphs, and that's what we're trying to do, defeat drag by throwing that upstream mend. But you're certainly covering this pool great, Cam. I'm going to head back to the bank and re-rig.
All right.
There we go. Whop!
Oh, you big sucker.
Where's your net?
Didn't bring it. Didn't think I'd catch one.
That's a nice rainbow.
Oh, there
good.
it goes.
Long line release.
Yeah.
Get another one.
Well, you're going to have to get in there.
No, go for it.
Busted him off.
Perfect. Whoa, there's some serious current.
There he is. Fish on.
He took the egg. Whoa! Whoa! Oh, now he's all tangled. Sorry. There we go. Uh-oh.
Them son of a guns.
Hang on here.
You're not supposed to let go there.
Come on, man.
Let's see
There
if
we
can
go.
get this one.
Land that sucker.
Oh, man. Can't keep them on.
We've been at 4X, 3X. We keep busting off in the trees, so what we're going to do is rig with 2X. We're going to rig our fly. This is basically cheating, but we're going to rig this fly, and then I'm going to put a clinch knot on the bend, and I will tie another fly to that, so we'll be rigged with a 2-fly setup. Cam, I think, is just going to go with one fly. What we're going to try to do here is try to hook 2 of these big fish at one time. I should mention we are fishing barbless. And you know what? We're not going to keep any fish, so it's all right to get a good run out of a fish and you lose them.
There we go. Get this one, Craig.
Come to Papa. Wow. That hook is buried. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Rainbow. We lucked out.
I think I'm going for a walk.
Head down to the lake, Cam.
Okay, I'll see you in a couple hours.
Bring them back up.
American Fly Guide is brought to you by Patagonia, by Natural Retreats, and by Temple Fork Outfitters.
I'll never forget that. It never fails, you know. If we were here without a camera rolling, we would have landed 5 or 6 fish. Sure thing. It never fails.
There we go. Get this one, Craig.
One of the most unique things fishing in and around Yellowstone, particularly southwest Montana as well as the park, these fish are wild. They're not stocked. We don't have a big tank truck dump these fish in. They're wild, they're spawned wild, and they're just truly a wonderful fish. And we're so blessed to have so much of this wild trout water in and around Yellowstone. We have more trout streams, more public trout streams than anywhere else in the world within a 50-mile radius of where we stand right here. So that's the beauty of Yellowstone, the world's capital of trout fishing and fly fishing. To rig our Tenkara system, and we're going to use a nymph indicator line today, a ferrule line, and simply just hitch this, loop it over your Lillian, and then basically extend the TFO soft tackle Tenkara rod. And then I'm going to bring my line. This is a ferrule line. Some people call it a ferrule leader. And it comes with a little stainless steel loop on the end of it, which makes it really handy to simply tie on some tippet. I'm going to take some 4X tippet, probably about 3 feet of it. Don't let your dentist see you do that. He'll read you the riot act because you'll chip your teeth. And next, I'm just going to run the tippet through that stainless steel eyelet, go around 5 times, and just do a simple clinch knot. Trim that tag end. And you can see I've got about a little over 3 feet of tippet now. And to that tippet, I'm going to tie my fly, and we'll determine what fly we're going to use here in a second after Cam runs through with his setup. But that's all there is to simple fly fishing into Tenkara. You've got your line, you've got your tippet, and you're ready to roll. No need to worry about guides or whatnot. It's just so simple to use this setup. Haha, there you go. Great. Ooh. Uh-oh. There he was. Good one. Fish looks like a brown trout.
I don't know. I think I'm going for a walk.
Head down to the lake, Cam.
Okay, I'll see you in a couple hours.
Bring him back up.
There we go. Finally got one in there.
Good job. You can hear this. The beauty of this line is that it's The entire line is an indicator. So you just follow your line and it will indicate when you have a fish on. And you might have seen my line pause there, and as soon as it paused, I set the hook. And of course, a lot of people will tell you that you can't land fish this size on a Tenkara rod. Well, we're going to prove them wrong once again here. Beautiful wild rainbow. And that's the technique you want to use. Bring your line to hand and just bring the fish in. And this one here, boy, they've been taking the worm when they really want it. Beautiful wild rainbow trout. Thank you.
There we go. Jeez Louise. Whop. Fish on. Oh, it's coming up.
American Fly Guide is brought to you by Patagonia, by Sundance, by Pettigene Meats, and by CCM Photo Books, turning special moments in life into stories shared for a lifetime.
I want to show you one of the neatest innovations, and it really is an innovation, if you will, in fly fishing. This has been around for 700 years. Simply just extend it, you just affix your line to the Lillian on the end, and you're fishing immediately and catching fish. Temple Fork Outfitters is manufacturing this rod. I love to put them in the hands of a youngster or a beginner. They walk in the water without any instruction, and they figure it out within 5 minutes, and they catch a wild trout. It's that quick and efficient, and it's a lot of fun. A special rod company, Temple Fork Outfitters. We talked about mending and traditional fly fishing gear with Cam fishing this run. With a Tenkara, with the simplest form of all fly fishing, we can present our flies without mending. And I'll show you how. It's so simple. Simply cast, and notice how we can keep all our line off the water with these longer rods. We get a drag-free float without having to mend. See how we do that? Just raise that rod and then lower the rod as you're going downstream. You're going to raise, keep the rod fairly high, keep most of the line off the water to avoid drag, and as it goes by you can lower the rod to continue to get that drag-free float for a longer duration. Tenkara rods are so simple to use, so easy to use. Anyone can do it. All you do again, raise the rod. Notice we're not having to throw an upstream mend. We get a good drag-free float throughout this entire run. A perfect presentation, perfect drag-free float. See how that's done? A perfect drag-free float, again, throughout the entire duration of the run. The easiest, simplest form of fly fishing, and to achieve a drag-free float, Tenkara is the way to go.
Aha!
You knew it!
Oh, good, he's going up. Otherwise, we may have a problem. Oh, he's being nice to me. Being real nice so far. There he is. Oh, we'll do it the Tenkara method. He slipped off the worm, and there we go. I'll hold him in there. Nice rainbow.
Well, you know, heck, we had a pretty doggone good morning here. We caught a few fish, had fun in these runs, and kind of shut off. What the heck, let's head to another creek.
Sounds good to me.
Have at it, Cam.
Go?
Go.
Well, I'll give it a shot down here then.
2 sinkers now?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're hitting bottom now.
Oh, Nelly. I know they're here, I just saw. You better fish this next one.
That thing?
We better go right here, don't you think?
For above?
Yeah.
Like this morning, it took us, what, one cast?
Yeah.
They want to eat it.
Yeah, oh yeah, I think
they're
if they're
there.
there, they're gonna take it. Should we go down to those
Yeah.
other ones? There we go.
Fish on!
And of course I'm all tangled up. There.
That's a nice fish, too. Beautiful.
Come here, fella.
Oh, yeah. You know, with a beautiful pocket like this, you knew there had to have been one fish in this pocket. And what a great fish it is. Can you hold them up, Cam?
Yeah,
Look how pretty that fish is. Thank you.
yeah. Oh, there he was.
There you go. A little guy.
Little guy sitting there.
Look at that.
Oh, there he goes. Perfect.
Here in the outdoors, we love our natural snacks. We need that energy. I want to tell you about a great product from our friends at Petit Meats. This is the special Mossy Oak gift boxes. You can log on to pjmeats.com and get some of the absolute best tasting bacon to go along with ham and summer sausages. Get that gift idea today. Throughout the season of American Fly Guide, you'll see our anglers utilizing the advantages of Patagonia gear. When you want to get the most out of your fishing experience, you need equipment as committed as you are. Here's Bill Klein, Patagonia's International Fishing Development Manager, with the efforts to make the Skeena River waders.
On the Skeena River wader, the Easy Lock wader systems are pretty slick. They allow the wader to slide up and down. It's nice to have these little locks simply slide up and lock in place. Inside, we have a waterproof pocket. And obviously, if we're out in the river, we know that two things we usually carry are car keys, which tend to be very expensive if you take a swim, and a cell phone. So again, these very conveniently sit inside this waterproof pocket. On the outside, we have the very functional hand warmer pockets. There's kind of a marsupial hand warmer pockets. And then on the top, you have a nice simple pocket where you can carry leaders, tippets, boxes, those types of things. Any wader company knows that inside seams tend to be the biggest problem. So by eliminating the seams on the inseam and outseam, and then moving along to the back, you reduce that potential wear factor and leakage, which is really significant. Both the waders are left and right designed for the legs and also the feet, which makes them far more comfortable and anatomically correct. Ideally, what we want to do is create the best possible waders for anglers who want to take their fishing to extremes no matter where they go in the world.
A lot of folks will do a mend, I guess, in one step. I like doing it in two. I like lifting the line, getting it off, and it makes it a lot easier to mend the line. But I just lift first and then just flick the tip.
Flick it.
And
Yeah.
that, well, you can get some pretty nice drifts like that, and it doesn't move that indicator out of where you want it.
Yep.
You can manipulate that without bouncing it way up like that. So, yeah, it
Does a good job.
It does. Too many times, a lot of folks will leave it low, mend, and it drags
Yeah.
it all the way back to you.
Sometimes you see a fish trying to catch up to the fly.
Yeah, and then with this, you can mend up, down, you know, out. It just makes it a heck of a lot easier.
Right, there you go.
Oh, there he was.
There you go. A little guy.
Little guy sitting there.
Look at that.
Oh, there he goes. Perfect.
Is that a rainbow or is that a
You
brown?
let me left me a nice present. I think it was a brown.
I think it was a
almost
brown.
looked like a brown.
Yeah, Lake Brown. You know what a great day we had. We started off on a small tributary stream to a Hebgen Lake and caught some fish that had been run up from Hebgen to spawn, some rainbows. The water type there and covering the water type and how to approach it. The run that we took most of the fish kind of read like an open book. You know, you had soft water on the far side, faster water, and in between you had that transition zone. It was kind of fun to try the Tenkara where we didn't have to mend, you know, just simply throw it out, so easy. And then we went to traditional gear, and you did very well and showed, you know, how to mend and how to defeat drag. Then we moved to this creek, which is more of like a glacial stream, a little bit less in terms of character. Doesn't have the pool quality and the transition and seams as we saw up on the first creek. But nonetheless, when we fished these lower runs here, we came upon that situation and covered it appropriately, and we ended up taking some very nice fish. And you know, the best part about it is we got a doggone day off of work.
That was the best part for me.
Darn right.
Well, Craig, every time I go with you somewhere, you wear me out. But it was kind of fun going back to a lot of these streams that I fished growing up, and you know, starting at Grayling and going there, and you know, for this time of year being clear as it was kind of a treat, you know. And I don't get to go out real often and do that kind of stuff.
You didn't have to wear your guide hat today.
No, I
did you?
didn't have to. This isn't my normal guide hat here. So.
Fish for fun. This is
Yeah,
great.
exactly. It's been a kick.
I'm glad you came. I'm glad we skipped out of work.
Yeah, me too.
You know, when the boss isn't around, we can play.
I know it. Thank God she wasn't around.
That's right. Thank God she wasn't around.